Hi, I'm Zarina Matcha, and you are watching Non-Feminist Gal. According to feminism, women have been oppressed throughout human history, and the only reason we have ever amounted to anything is because feminism made it happen. In this video, I'm going to cite 20 women, some dead and some alive, all of whom achieved great success in their chosen fields and made positive contributions to the world. These women owe their achievements not to feminism, but to the strength of their own individual merits and efforts. Number 1, Grace Hopper. Grace Hopper was an American computer scientist, mathematician, and US Navy Rear Admiral. She was a pioneer of computer programming and invented one of the first linkers, which is a device used to combine object files into a single file. Her contributions to the world of technology and coding earned her the National Medal of Technology in 1991, before her death the following year. Number 2, Tash Sultana. Tash Sultana is an Australian musician, singer-songwriter, and music producer. She's been playing guitar since the age of 3 and began busking on the streets of Melbourne in her teens. She has been touring worldwide since 2016, selling out shows, and is an inspiration to independent musicians everywhere. Number 3, Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher was a British politician and the first female Prime Minister of the UK, serving from 1979 until 1990. She followed extreme social and economically conservative policies, which are now called Thatcherism. She was famously anti-feminist, asserting, "I owe nothing to women's lib." Whether you agree with her policies or not, one cannot deny her extraordinarily ruthless spirit and dedication to all her endeavours. Number 4, Florence Nightingale. Florence Nightingale was an English nurse who was also a pioneer in statistics. She was a social reformer who worked to improve the health conditions of the facilities that she worked in. In 1860, she opened the first secular nursing school in the world at St. Thomas's Hospital in London. Number 5, Cassie Jaye. Cassie Jaye is an American film director and producer. In 2016, she released The Red Pill, a documentary which explores the men's rights movement. Cassie was initially a feminist, yet found herself sympathizing with men's struggles and realized that feminism only examines gender issues by looking at one side. By the end of the documentary, she says that she is no longer a feminist, as those who truly believe in gender equality should look at both women and men's issues. Number 6, Ayn Rand. Ayn Rand was a Russian-American writer and philosopher. She was a staunch promoter of reason, free market capitalism, individualism, and rational and ethical egoism. She was highly critical of socialism, communism, statism, and anarchism. Her ideas were combined into the philosophy known as objectivism, which is demonstrated in her novels such as The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged. She rejected the label of feminist and even described herself as a male chauvinist. Number 7, Brigitte Bardot. Brigitte Bardot is a French former actress, singer, and model. She was a beauty and sex icon during the 1950s and 60s. She achieved international recognition in 1957 for her starring role in And God Created Woman. Despite this, she's never been a feminist, and in one interview said that she hates feminism and, similar to Ayn Rand, describes herself as a masculinist. Number 8, Erin Pizzey. Erin Pizzey is an English ex-feminist, men's rights advocate, domestic abuse advocate, and novelist. In 1971, she started the first and currently largest domestic violence shelter in the world in London. Pizzey's research has led her to view domestic violence as a humanitarian issue as opposed to a feminist one, as she found that women are just as capable of domestic violence as men are. Due to these assertions, she's received countless death threats and boycotts from many feminists and is now exiled from the shelter which she herself created. She is living proof of how feminism does not support women, it supports feminist women. Number 9, Miriam Makeba. Miriam Makeba, otherwise known as Mama Africa, was a South African singer, actress, and civil rights advocate against apartheid. Her life was extremely sad, marked by abuse and racial struggles. She used her music to carry the message of freedom for all Africans and African American people. Some may call Makeba a feminist, but I think personally that she is more of a womanist, following in the tradition of Africana womanism, which rejected the white-centric, misandrous tone of 60s to 80s feminism. Number 10, Suzanne Venker. Suzanne Venker is an American non-fiction author, radio host, and relationship coach. In 2011, she released the book The Flip Side of Feminism with her late aunt and former activist Phyllis Schlafly. While I personally disagree with a large chunk of Venker's views, particularly on sex, abortion, and getting married young, we are united in our disdain for feminism, even though she comes at it from a staunchly older, more conservative angle, while I come at it from a much younger and more liberal angle. Number 11, Alice Ball. Alice Ball was an American chemist who developed an oil extract that was used to treat leprosy in the 1940s. She was the first woman and first African American to receive a master's degree from the University of Hawaii, and was also the university's first female and African American chemistry professor. Number 12, Susan Sarandon. Susan Sarandon is an American actress and activist. In 1999, she was appointed a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador and received the Action Against Hunger Humanitarian Award in 2006. When asked about feminism, Sarandon remarks that she prefers to view herself as a humanist and sees feminism as an old-fashioned term that can be used to minimize women. Number 13, Deepika Bhardwaj. Deepika Bhardwaj is an Indian journalist, filmmaker, and men's rights activist. In 2017, she released the documentary Martyrs of Marriage, which explores the misuse of Section 498A, a law which has been abused by many women to force men to pay expensive dowries. She often faces backlash by feminists for her work within the men's rights sphere, even though she describes herself as being pro-equality, as opposed to being pro-men's rights or pro-feminism. Number 14, Victoria Woodhall. Victoria Woodhall was an American leader of the women's suffrage movement and the first woman in American history to run for president in 1872, long before Hillary Clinton. She was an advocate for women's rights and social reforms, and also supported women's right to marry, divorce, and bear children without social restriction or government interference. She also supported female sexual liberation and was in favor of legalizing abortion. Many would call her a feminist, but I view her as a classical liberal who wanted respect and equality, not to vilify men or overthrow the patriarchy. Number 15, Caro Emerald. Caro Emerald is a Dutch pop and jazz singer. In 2010, she released her debut album, Deleted Scenes from the Cutting Room Floor, which I have enjoyed many happy hours listening to. She has performed and toured all over the world with grace, class, and elegance all the way. Number 16, Hypatia. Hypatia was an Egyptian philosopher, astronomer, and mathematician. She was a prominent thinker in Alexandria, which is where she taught philosophy and astronomy. She's the first female mathematician whose life has been well recorded. Her teachings were based on Neoplatonism. Anyone who thinks that women have been oppressed since the dawn of time should look to this lady and see that that's not the case. Number 17, Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman was an American abolitionist and social activist. She was born into slavery in 1822 and later escaped. She made numerous missions to rescue approximately 70 people from slavery, and she was never caught and never lost a fugitive. Number 18, Saba Douglas-Hamilton. Saba Douglas-Hamilton is a Kenyan wildlife conservationist and television presenter. She has hosted and co-presented numerous documentaries, including Big Cat Diary, which I used to love watching as a kid. She has travelled all over the world making documentaries on elephants, polar bears, lions, and the like. She is also happily married with 3 children. Number 19, Yaa Asantewa. Yaa Asantewa was the warrior queen mother of Edisu in the Ashanti Empire, which is now part of modern-day Ghana. In 1900, she led the Ashanti War of Independence against British colonialism. She used her influence to lead and inspire the Ashanti men to fight the British. Now that's what I call a strong, independent woman. Number 20, Judge Judy. Judge Judy is an American court show arbitrator, media personality, television producer, and author. For 25 years, she was the judge in Judge Judy and became the longest-serving television arbitrator in courtroom-themed programming history, a distinction that earned her a place in the Guinness Book of World Records in 2015. She also rejects the label of feminist, preferring instead to call herself an individualist. I really hope that you enjoy learning about all these different women. Below I have linked Wikipedia entries for some of them and articles for others which I found fascinating. Do look them up and also let me know in the comments any successful women you can think of who either aren't or were not feminists and instead owe success to the strength of their own merit.